Long before he became an international combat sports icon commanding absolute fascination under the bright arena lights, Dricus Du Plessis was forged in South Africa. Beginning his martial arts journey in kickboxing and wrestling at a very young age, he quickly displayed a rare capacity for brutal physical workload. Dricus did not enter fight sports out of a simple desire for internet validation. His primary goal was to master combat mechanics, represent his country, and achieve global glory. He rapidly developed an extraordinary biological response to high-intensity fight training, building awkward striking angles, relentless wrestling pressure, and endless cardiovascular endurance. Winning world titles in kickboxing and dual division championships in major African organizations, he earned his place among the most dangerous fighters on the continent. Du Plessis proved very early on that he was a completely unique breed of athlete, fully destined to conquer world titles. What truly transformed Dricus Du Plessis from a regional prospect into an absolute mythical figure within the global fight community was his unorthodox style. Possessing a chaotic rhythm, explosive blitzes, and relentless pressure, he confused opponents who trained against traditional textbook striking. His ability to absorb heavy shots, drive through double-leg takedowns, and land heavy overhand hooks created an unpredictable combat storm that broke elite fighters inside the octagon. His wild lunging combinations and relentless pace made every cage appearance an exciting spectacle under blinding arena lights. This aggressive, forward-marching style forced rivals into deep fatigue where his physical toughness and finishing instinct reigned supreme. Du Plessis turned his 5-round battles into masterclasses of raw willpower, proving to the fight world that relentless pace, tactical grit, and unyielding conditioning can overcome any textbook technique. The absolute competitive climax of Dricus's MMA career was realized through his historic victory over Sean Strickland to capture the UFC middleweight title. Becoming the first South African champion in UFC history, he proved critics wrong and silenced doubters on the biggest fight night in Toronto. Standing under the blinding arena lights, he captured world headlines, establishing his name alongside the most respected combat sports champions on earth in historic fashion. Those monumental championship victories sent shockwaves through the fight community, establishing him as an immortal icon of modern African sports history. He celebrated his crowning achievements with immense national pride, proving to millions of aspiring African fighters that world-class excellence is achievable from home. Du Plessis demonstrated to fight fans everywhere that persistent dedication, heavy pressure, and unyielding focus yield global glory. While his UFC belt earned him global fame, Dricus achieved permanent legendary status through his historic title defense against former champion Israel Adesanya. Standing toe-to-toe with one of the greatest strikers in combat history, he executed a tactical masterpiece, submitting Adesanya in Australia. Refusing to yield to pressure or hostile crowds, he pushed his physical limits to solidify his championship reign against the absolute best martial artists on earth. Dominating iconic rivalries on the sport's biggest stage proved his indestructible mind and total commitment to mixed martial arts excellence. That relentless ambition earned him deep universal admiration from fellow fighters, legendary coaches, and fight purists across the globe. Du Plessis showed the sports world that true championship character is revealed through overcoming adversity, demonstrating that warrior spirit elevates a great fighter into an untouchable icon. What truly separated Dricus Du Plessis from almost every other fighter of his era was his refusal to accept defeat or back down during grueling exchanges. Facing explosive knockout artists and technical wrestlers throughout his UFC run, he consistently marched forward regardless of damage taken. His ability to recover mid-fight, switch levels, and lock in submission chokes allowed him to turn dangerous situations into decisive victories inside the octagon during his rise. This constant forward movement forced every opponent into prolonged physical exhaustion, right where his legendary third-round power excelled. His ability to maintain explosive power even when gasping for air allowed him to finish fights when rivals expected him to fade completely. Du Plessis's mental toughness became his impenetrable strategic pillar, ensuring that every contest turned into a war of attrition where his unbreakable heart completely dictated the outcome. Beyond his technical blitzes and championship belt, Dricus earned universal respect for his remarkably authentic, proud, and charismatic personality. Representing South Africa with deep patriotism, he carried his nation's flag onto global stages, inspiring an entire continent of sports fans. He spoke with total honesty about training struggles, strategic decisions, and personal growth, becoming a shining beacon of pride for supporters navigating their own daily battles. He interacted with young fans and rising African fighters with genuine warmth and patient encouragement, offering guidance and setting an inspiring standard. That approachable, authentic persona earned him one of the most loyal fan bases in modern mixed martial arts history. Du Plessis proved to the fight world that an elite champion can maintain humor, humility, and generosity, showing that real pride and warrior values remain the ultimate marks of a true leader. A major definitive factor that set Dricus apart during his athletic evolution was his unwavering trust in Team CIT and coach Morn Visser. Training exclusively in Pretoria alongside lifelong coaching staff, he proved that world-class champions can be built outside traditional American super gyms. This loyal environment provided a consistent source of daily accountability, allowing him to refine his unique fighting style with total confidence, mental peace, and tactical clarity. He maintained a disciplined, structured lifestyle, prioritizing recovery, proper nutrition, and physical conditioning alongside grueling daily sparring sessions. His life centered on constant martial arts mastery, team loyalty, and personal development, treating fighting as a noble pursuit. This total dedication solidified his reputation as a supreme professional who honored the sport, living and breathing combat sports with complete pride, discipline, and competitive excellence. Beyond his fight record, his title defenses, and his international fame lay a pioneer who forever transformed the landscape of African sports. Before his historic rise, many doubted whether a fighter training entirely in South Africa could conquer the UFC middleweight crown. By breaking through those traditional barriers, he proved to the world that world-class fighting status is achievable through relentless work, local loyalty, and unshakable self-belief. He utilized his platform to elevate African combat sports, paving the way for future generations to secure international contracts and recognition. That enduring legacy earned him permanent gratitude from fans, promoters, and fellow athletes across the entire sporting landscape. Du Plessis proved to the sports world that a true champion creates new pathways, establishing a lasting personal mark that completely altered the trajectory of modern mixed martial arts. Following years of elite main event battles, historic title defenses, and global stardom, Dricus continued to be celebrated as a cornerstone of modern sports. Newer generations of fighters openly acknowledged his pioneer contributions, recognizing that his early sacrifices set a new standard for African athletic achievement worldwide. He remained an iconic figure in mixed martial arts, greeted with roaring applause whenever he appeared before fans who remembered his wars. His iconic championship fights and submission finishes continue to be studied by coaches and martial artists worldwide as masterclasses in pace and toughness. The combat sports community holds his career in high honor, recognizing his contributions as a golden standard of heart and athletic impact. Du Plessis's legacy remains a shining beacon of discipline, proving that an authentic champion's spirit continues to inspire millions long after his finest moments in the cage. When sports historians analyze the most influential champions in middleweight history, Dricus Du Plessis's name stands proudly near the summit. His unprecedented combination of a UFC world title, historic African representation, awkward power, and raw grit permanently elevated sports standards. He proved that an athlete can conquer global sports through technical pressure, fierce determination, and an unbreakable desire to achieve greatness in combat. His historic title fights continue to be studied by fight purists worldwide as masterclasses in pacing and mental toughness under pressure. Hardcore fans and casual observers alike celebrate his career, recognizing his contributions as a foundational chapter in international martial arts history. Du Plessis proved that authentic passion and warrior heart create an immortal legacy, leaving a profound mark on fight history that time can never fade or diminish over time. Dricus Du Plessis has permanently etched his name into the absolute upper echelon of combat history, leaving behind a timeless blueprint. He will forever be revered as Still Knox, the pioneer who successfully proved that African power, warrior heart, and humble dignity conquer the world. His incredible life journey serves as a powerful reminder that structured discipline, mental resilience, and an authentic spirit will always stand the test of time. Future generations of combat athletes will continually study his historic fight preps, his legendary blitzes, and his iron mindset, trying in vain to replicate his magic. He showed the entire world that a champion could achieve immortality by remaining fiercely true to his vision, honoring his roots, and fighting through every obstacle. The South African legend has permanently etched his name in gold, leaving an eternal mark on combat sports forever.